Oh, we're trying to front view today. We're getting fancy. So today, topic I want to talk about is appreciation. I don't think it's a terribly it's not a difficult skill. However, it can feel uncomfortable if you're not used to it. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But first, let's start off with the definition. What does appreciation actually mean? Because if you keep it vague, lots of different people have lots of different opinions of what appreciation is or how to show it and whatnot. The general gist of appreciation includes acknowledging that something happened and acknowledging that something made you happy or brought you joy or you liked it, whatever it was. So acknowledging that, yes, Steve picked up an extra shift, and that makes me happy because now I don't have to work it. That makes me happy because now we're, extra staffed. Steve, you did this thing to make me happy, to make the team happy, whatever it was. That's what appreciation is. Acknowledging that someone did something and that it had a positive impact on either yourself, your team, had a positive impact on someone. Obviously, you don't want to, typically you don't want to be, black and white, robotic like that, matter of fact, Steve picked up a shift, so now I don't have to work. That's not really appreciation, that's just kind of stating facts. So appreciation is attaching an emotional response to that acknowledgement and to the fact that, it made people happy. So how do we really talk about appreciation, today? A lot of the time when you're working with people, I'm sure most people have seen this or experienced it, but when people are trying to show you appreciation or their half-assed attempt at showing you appreciation, it typically just goes like, hey, Bill, thanks for, working that shift for me. Or, hey, Sarah, thanks for staying late the other night. Or, hey, Becky, good job getting that account or putting in the extra effort or whatever it was. It's very flat, very brief, no emotion attached to it whatsoever. It's just kind of more to the point. Hey, you did this. Good. And that is like the most half-assed. That's not the most half-assed appreciation. The most half-assed appreciation you can do is like not even giving that person FaceTime and sending appreciation over like text message or email, saying, hey, thank you for doing this. Or sending them a text just saying, thanks, or not even the full word thanks, just THX. That's like such bad appreciation that it like causes the exact opposite, I think, and can definitely inspire like anger and resentment. So that kind of stuff is what I personally have seen most often, and I feel like other people have seen it quite a bit too, so much to the point that that's kind of just the regular. When we talk about appreciation, if I were to ask you, hey, how do you show this person appreciation? That's probably the example that quite a few people would give. And I think that's just really unfortunate because that's not quality appreciation and that's not going to get you the result that you're looking for. So a lot of people are going to say, well, why? What's wrong with sending a text? What's wrong with sending an email? What's wrong with making it, quick and to the point? And to know, why that doesn't work, one second. You have to know why it is that people value appreciation or why it feels good when we get appreciation. So some, science talk. In your brain, there are chemicals that will be released that give you, feelings of happiness, feelings of joy. Basically anything pleasant that you experience is because one of these four chemicals has been released or a combination of the four chemicals have been released. The two specifically that kind of tag along with appreciation are oxytocin and serotonin. One of these chemicals is kind of related to, well, it's not kind of, it is related to, feelings of pride, feelings of being valued, having appreciation for your kind of work. The other is related to, feelings of connections, feelings of love, feelings of safety, which typically develops if you're showing appreciation over and over again because you have a really positive relationship developing because of those, types of belonging cues or those positive statements. So when the purpose of appreciation is to say something to someone that triggers that chemical to release. Hey, I really appreciate you and want to take time out of my day to say thank you. I think you're great and what you did really, really helped me. When I give you that compliment, when I give you that appreciation, those chemicals are released. You feel happy about it. You say, thank you, that really means a lot to me. You like me more. You're going to be more willing to help me again in the future because that feeling made you good. So really, it's kind of like you want to help me again in the future just so you can get that chemical hit to give you those good feelings, which is fine. That's how people are programmed to work. That's what our brains do. So, and if you haven't seen any of Simon Sinek's content, he gives a lot of great TED Talks that actually talk quite a bit about this, and I definitely advise you to go and watch it because he's like a master of it and he can explain it so much better than I can. I just gave you the skinny of what you need to know. So basically, like I said, the purpose of appreciation is to do something that invokes that chemical release in the brain to make a person want to, develop that relationship with you, want to feel that they're part of your team, and encourages them to do that type of behavior in the future. So when we do actual appreciation, those chemicals get released every single time, no question about it. It works fantastic. But a lot of people don't know what actual appreciation looks like or how it should sound because they're not used to it. They're used to, the quick text messages or the quick emails. And as Simon, says in his TED Talks, when it comes to appreciation, quality appreciation takes time and it takes effort. And text messages and emails don't require time and don't require effort, so you're not going to get the same effect. So let's say we have a scenario where Stacy picked up a weekend shift. She wasn't obligated to, she just did to help out the team, and I'm going to show her appreciation for it. So if I really wanted to show her appreciation, I would find a time to pull her to the side, or I would find a time, when there are other people around so other people can see our interaction so they can know what she did and how much I appreciated it. But I would, make contact with her, face-to-face contact, not, over text or email or anything like that. And I would say, hey, I forgot the name I was using. I'm just going to say Stacy. Hey, Stacy, I just wanted you to know that you picking up that shift this last weekend was so helpful, not only to myself, but also to the team. When you did that, and I absolutely know you did not have to, so I appreciate you so much for doing it. You made it so no one else had to come in on the weekend when they had plans, and you also made it so we were fully staffed and able to provide full support for everyone else working, which obviously means all of our customers get full support as well. So really, I just have to say that I appreciate you so much, because I know you probably had a weekend planned. I know that even if you didn't have plans, you probably wanted that time to yourself, but you took it upon yourself to really disregard your own plans, disregard your own time of rest to put in some extra effort and help us out. And I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you so much. If there's ever anything I can do to return the favor, please let me know, because you are fantastic and you're amazing. Thank you. That's what appreciation is. It doesn't need to be quick. If it's not quick, great. Because if you can just kind of berate them with positivity, berate them with compliments, if you're not used to it, it's going to feel a little uncomfortable at first, but that's fine, because you are getting the full gist of my appreciation. Even if it makes you uncomfortable, your brain is still registering that, oh, hey, this is someone who likes you, this is someone who appreciates you, this is someone who values you. We're going to give you those hits of those chemicals to make you feel good. Even though it might be, socially uncomfortable, you're still going to get that chemical hit to make you feel good. That way, you get that encouragement to continue doing those types of behaviors to get that good feeling. When you have those types of appreciation moments, that will happen. And although it sounded a little lengthy, you should be giving appreciation like that all the time. Right now, I'm working with a team that I've been working with for maybe about 2 months. And it's gotten to the point to where I give each of them like one or two of those types of appreciation talks every single day. My communication style is a little sarcastic. Not a little, it's a lot sarcastic. So I will always like, give them shit, but then like I will be dead serious and I'll say, do you know what? You put up with me. You do more than pull your weight around here. You support me. You support your team. You are amazing. Thank you for doing that stuff. If there's ever anything you need from me, let me know. Because just how you support us, I want to be able to support you. And again, it might take some getting used to, but that's what appreciation is. They will appreciate it. They will love it. They will keep that behavior up. Now, for what people are more used to, the half-assed appreciation, same scenario. If Stacy picked up a shift on the weekend and, on Monday I shot her a text saying, hey, thanks for working on the weekend, appreciate it. She's going to read it. And if she didn't want to work, she might even have an attitude like, yeah, whatever, piss off, don't talk to me. And she might have been, more than happy to help out the team. And she reads it, and she reads it in like 3 seconds, and she's like, oh, I gave up 9 hours of my day for a 3-second text. That's all the appreciation I'm going to get for this. Awesome. That doesn't feel good. I'm probably not going to do it again. And if I do it again, I know I'm not going to be appreciated for it, so I might get a little salty about it. There's no connection there. There's no face-to-face connection there. There's no, genuine appreciation. Stacy's not going to get those chemicals released. She's not going to have, if there is any chance that those chemicals are released, it's not going to be anywhere near as potent as if you were actually looking at her face to face. Really, that's I want to save time. I don't want to put in effort. I'm going to go through the motions and show you appreciation so I can technically say that I did it, even though I couldn't care less. And people are going to pick up on that. And A, they're not going to feel appreciated, and B, it'll probably get to the point where they're a little pissed off. Because if they're giving you hours and hours and hours of your time, and you're giving them a 15-second email, that's not proportionate appreciation to their effort. So they're probably going to stop doing those behaviors because they're not getting anything out of it. So really, when you look at those two comparisons, one of them took time and effort and was genuine, and the other one wasn't. For our face-to-face, I had to go up to you. I had to put everything else I was doing to the side. I gave you my 100% attention, and I gave you a 3-minute talk about why I think you're fantastic and why I appreciate you. The other one, I literally could have been hanging out in the bathroom, pulled out my phone real quick, thanks, push send, and that's what you got. Really, when you have that face-to-face, you are saying, even if you send them an email that includes like the exact same words as what you would say face-to-face, the face-to-face lets you display body language, it lets you display facial expressions, it lets you express tones of voice. You can have dramatic pauses that emphasize really how strongly it means to you. And again, you're showing them that you're taking time out of your day and you're going to give them 100% of your attention. You're being honest, and you are giving all of them that just for picking up an extra shift. That is what real appreciation looks like. The other one was not. The other one was half-assed. It was terrible. You're not going to get anything with it. So I'm sure that if you have been in a career or had a job for at least 2 or 3 years, if you think back, you can probably think of examples of both. You can think of the people who showed you true, honest, genuine appreciation that meant the world to you, and you can think of people who sent you the "okay, thanks" text. I would definitely encourage you to just pause the video right now and think about it for a couple of minutes. Think about how it made you feel, the comparison between the two. And then really kind of decide, do you want to be the person who gives the half-assed appreciation or the person who gives the full, actual appreciation? And actually kind of piggybacking off of the video yesterday, this kind of ties in with communication. Appreciation is an emotional conversation and should not be had over text message or email. There are times where people can get the full amount of appreciation over a text or an email, if they know you so well that just by reading a text, they can picture you and how you would have delivered it. So if I've known someone for, 5 years, I've seen every single side of them. I know what they look like when they're mad, what they look like when they're happy, what they do when they're excited. If they send me a text saying, hey, just want to say that you're amazing. Thank you so much for this. If I can ever pay you back, let me know. If I know them that well, I can probably mentally picture how they would have said it, what they would have looked like, and that they actually genuinely meant it. And that might get me, the appreciation chemical hit. And that definitely can happen, especially if you, are working with people who you're not always in the immediate vicinity of. And if you're not in the immediate vicinity of people that you work with for a majority of the time that you are actually together, I would really make sure that you are driving that appreciation home whenever possible. That way, when you have to give it from a distance, they're able to, recall how it is that you give it, and they can kind of fill in the blanks that aren't there. So again, emotional conversation, have it in person. If you half-ass it, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're just wasting your time, and you're wasting your teammates' time. So in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that showing appreciation might be uncomfortable for you. And if it is uncomfortable for you, at least the version that I'm telling you to show, I think that's really, really unfortunate. Not because of you, but because you haven't been exposed to that high quality appreciation enough to get used to it. Really, imagine if someone were exposed to that high quality appreciation nonstop for like 10 years. If that is what they heard every single time they did something good, hey, Bill, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're lucky to have you. Anything you need, let us know, because you always have our backs and we want to have yours. They heard that, 5 times a week, every week for 10 years. That would be their norm. That would be what they expect. That would be what they deliver to others. If you're someone who very rarely has ever heard that quality of appreciation, and you're more of the, okay, thanks, or hey everyone, Jessica picked up a shift, so let's give a quick round of applause and let's move on with the rest of our day. That's going to be what you're used to, and that's going to be the type of appreciation that you give out, because to you, that's the norm. That's what's expected. That's what you're supposed to give out. Even though, it's not going to be anywhere near as high quality, it's what you're used to, so it's what your default will be. Unless there's something extreme that happens, like, someone pulls you out of a burning car, then you'll probably show them actual quality appreciation. But unfortunately, if it's not that extreme, you're going to go to your default, which is kind of half-assing it. So really think about those two extremes. If someone who received the good quality of appreciation for 10 years were to receive the shitty quality of appreciation that most people are used to, think about what that would do to them. If I'm, my brain's being conditioned for year after year after year, this is how you show appreciation to people. This is what we'll do to you when you're appreciated. This is what you do to others when you show them appreciation. And all of a sudden you're getting this thing that's drastically different, that's so half-assed, nowhere near what you're used to. It's so much of a lower standard, you don't even know what to do with it. You think to yourself, what the hell is this? Like, this isn't what I'm used to. Where's my 5 minutes of praise? This is crap. It'll make you feel crazy, unappreciated. You'll learn real quick that, okay, I'm not going to do the work for these people because they clearly couldn't care less about me. Even though the people might genuinely be trying to give you that appreciation, they're just so bad at it that you're going to perceive it as they don't care. I mean, you're not going to do the work. You're not going to be happy. You might enter a depression because you're not getting anywhere near as much appreciation and that connection as you're used to, which is really, really tough for people to deal with. On the other hand, imagine someone who's gotten nothing but the crap appreciation for the entirety of their lives, and all of a sudden they're now put into a work environment where people are giving them that full-blown quality appreciation of, hey, Stacy, you're awesome, you're fantastic, we're so happy you're here, yada, yada, yada. At first, she's going to be like, what is this? This is too much. What's going on? Like, her brain's going to be pumping out that chemical, so she's still going to be feeling good, but she's going to be, like, very sort of surprised because it's going to be unusual for her. She's going to be like, what is happening? I didn't save someone's life. Why are you giving me so much praise and attention for, making extra copies of a report? If that's so much higher quality than what she's used to, she's gonna feel fantastic when she receives it. Especially if she receives it consistently a couple times, she's gonna think, wow, this is the best thing I've ever experienced. No one's ever appreciated me to this extent. I've never gotten this type of feedback. When you have those types of feelings, they are strong. There are places where people are paid, $12 an hour to do the worst jobs in the world, but because they have a team and a leader who shows them that appreciation, they don't want to leave it. Yeah, the money sucks, but the happiness that I get from working with these people more than makes up for it. So if you're a leader and you're able to provide that happiness, that connection, that appreciation for the people that you're working with, it doesn't matter if they're below you, they're your peer, or they're above you. If you can show everyone that appreciation, people will flock to you because they're going to say, oh, wow, Josh gives out the good appreciation. He's the person I want to work with because I know that I'm going to get that eventually. I don't want to, it's not saying I don't want to work with my team, but I want to get over to his team because that's the feedback that I want. That's what makes me happy. That's what, releases those chemicals. So really, when it comes to appreciation, there are just 3 basic things you need to keep in mind when you're delivering it to make sure that it's actually good quality appreciation. 1, it should be taking up your time. Anyone who's done any type of research on leadership or has anything to say will probably tell you one of the key qualities of a leader is that they will give the people they work with their time and attention. So it should take up your time. It should not be a quick 10-second thing. It should be, a 2-minute thing. It depends on how much you want to reinforce the behavior. If you couldn't care less about Stacy picking up a weekend shift, then give her a 10-second one. See if she does it again. If you want to encourage that type of behavior, not only from her, but everyone else around who's going to see you giving that praise, make it the biggest scene you've ever seen. Hey everyone, I just want to say that Stacy is awesome. She's a rock star. She's done so much for us, and I couldn't appreciate her more. Because those chemicals actually start to flow. If you're not receiving it, they'll still start to flow if you're seeing it happen between other people. It's actually really, really interesting, but we're not going to get into that today. But you don't need to be showing appreciation directly to someone. If I see that my supervisor and my peer are interacting and my supervisor is showing a crazy amount of appreciation for something that my peer did, I'm going to be like, oh, wow. Not only does my supervisor support and appreciate our team, but if I want that type of interaction, I now know what I need to go do, and then I'll fully expect it. I'll get it. I'll be happy. Everything will be great. So, number 1, it should take up your time. Number 2, it should take effort. Not a quick email, not a quick text, not a, oh, hey, thanks, by the way. That's not taking up your time. That's not taking up your effort. That's half-assing it. And why even bother if it's gonna not get you the result you want, and it might actually even piss people off because they did a lot of hard work and they're expecting a quality praise. They're expecting quality praise. And the third thing that you need to know about appreciation is it needs to be genuine. If giving genuine appreciation is a problem for you, that's either saying that 1, you don't know to the full extent what they're having to give up or what they're having to go through to do this thing that deserves appreciation, or 2, you do know and you just don't care. With the first one, if you don't know how hard it is for, Stacy to give up her weekend to come pick up a shift and work here, I would strongly encourage you to actually try it yourself so you know what it feels like. You know the struggles, you know the emotional toll, you know the burnout. That being said, there are obviously, one of 2 choices that you're going to do. 1, you can actually do it and you can see what people go through. That way you can gain a full appreciation for what they're actually doing when they come in or when they do this extra work or when they stay late. And then that should click you actually giving genuine appreciation. Or 2, you don't do it because you're like, shit, that sucks. I absolutely don't want to do that. In which case, that's fine too. Because if you're trying to avoid it, you're still going to develop that appreciation because, hey, I didn't want to do this and you did. I want to encourage that so I never have to. Thank you. Keep it up. Whatever I can do for you, let me know. So if you don't know what they're giving up, either try it or appreciate the fact that you're not having to try it and give them that genuine appreciation for it. Second one, if you know what they're giving up and you just don't care enough to make it genuine, I don't think you're leader material. If you can't appreciate the stuff that your team does for you, you should not be in a leadership position. That's not saying you can't eventually get to be in one, but you're not ready for that because that's something you need to be able to appreciate. So really, if the leader does not do this for their team doesn't feel appreciated, their team doesn't feel like a team. They might feel like a team just with us and not the person who's our leader. I've seen that happen multiple times. But really, not showing appreciation not only kind of sets your team up for failure, but it also creates this unique situation where there's a vacancy in the leadership position for someone who will show appreciation. And a leader does not, by any means, have to be a person who is actually in an authoritative position. It could definitely be, someone who's doing the groundwork. It could be someone who's doing that entry-level stuff. It could be someone who was hired, 4 weeks ago. And if they're showing their team appreciation, if they're showing them, that high quality, hey, thanks for showing me this. I really appreciate it. You're helping me, keep my job. Or, hey, I just want to say I really appreciate what you did for me last night. It helped me out so much. Your team's going to react to that. They're going to see that appreciation, and again, they're going to flock to it, and it's going to be it's not going to be a good situation for you because you're in a management position and you're expected to be a leader, but the leader that the team is actually responding to is, the entry-level person or the direct person who's operating below you. So if that situation happens, you might not lose your job. You might not lose your pay. You might not lose, your office. You might not lose your benefits, but I can almost guarantee you that you're going to lose your team. It's only a matter of time. And when you lose your team, all that other shit's going to be going pretty soon after. So if you want your team to do great, not only for themselves, but for you, you need to start practicing quality appreciation. Again, it might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but if you do it enough, not only will you get used to it, but your team's going to seek it out. They will come up to you and say, oh, hey, guess what? I picked up Jeff's shift over the weekend. So where's my appreciation? Obviously not as directly as that, but they will do subtle behaviors to try to prompt you to give them that appreciation that they're looking for. Again, if you're a leader and you actually know what your team is doing, you should be appreciating them constantly. If you're seeing people 2 or 3 times a day minimum is what I would expect for people to make sure that their team knows that they are fully appreciated by you. So yeah, that's it for the day. Practice appreciation.